Assalamu alaikum, y'all. Give me 1 second.
We working on that. Yes. Number one priority.
Yes.
You guys have an extra pen?
Mm-hmm.
My pen just like.
I thought I did. It must have fell out.
Shoot. Oh, I don't know why I couldn't figure out the.
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, ya Allah. It's freezing in here.
Oh, it was just me.
I turned the heat on.
No, it's cold air. I can't do cold air.
Move on the other side.
No, without her. It's okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Hey, mommy. Hey, mommy. It's not mommy, it's my brother. Boy, you won't pay me to promote your business. Get on my face. It's my brother. All right, y'all. Ready? All right. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You're listening live to the Covered in Business show. You can find us on DG Radio, Daily Grind Radio, on your TuneIn app, or you can just watch us here on my live. And you can also follow up with us on our YouTube channel, Covered in Business. So make sure, hey mom, so make sure y'all subscribe. Huh? Make sure y'all subscribe to our show, the Covered in Business on YouTube. Today we have my co-host, where are you, Tia? Atia Havens, owner of Amateur Lost Treasures. And we have Kemia Williams, owner of Proficiency Services. She gonna help me out for 2018, y'all. Get out my way. Yo. So Covered in Business is a network of women empowering, motivating, and supporting each other. We offer different services. We're going to be offering different programs and workshops in 2018. We'll be gathering for monthly outings for the sisters to actually relax. And we will be incorporating a program for the men that will be ran by a brother, not the women. So, what else? Oh, make sure y'all register if you aren't already registered for the brunch this Sunday, which is free, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have a lot of people presenting, motivational speakers, finance consultants, public relations consultants, time and productivity consultants. Kamia's presenting. Credit consultants. It's going to be lit. So everything that you need to succeed in 2018, they're going to be there to present and to help you guys get started, inshallah. So let's hear from Miss Kemia. Assalamu alaikum, Kemia.
Wa alaikum salam.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Kemia Williams, and my company is called Proficiency Services, and I'm a productivity specialist, and I help people with time management, goal setting, task management, and productivity.
And what got you started? Like, why did you start?
What got me started is as a paralegal, just sitting in a bunch of timeless meetings that got nowhere. My boss asked me one day if I wanted to take a workshop. I thought it was just personal development. And she sent me to the workshop, and it actually was a conference. And I came back, and she told me to train everybody.
That's usually how it happens.
And so that's how I started in corporate training in And so that's how I started with time management and productivity. And, when you're in college and you're in school, nobody really teaches you about time management. You're just in it to win it, and you just figure it out. And so as a young child, you don't have to worry about it because you go to school, that's all you have to do. But when you're in higher education school, you have to school, work. If you're a parent, you have to figure it out. There's so many things that you have to juggle. So that's where my love of time management came.
Okay. What's the difference? I think you said goal setting and you said multiple settings.
Goal setting and task setting.
Okay, what's the difference?
So you have a big goal, which people talk about your big, scary goal, and then you have a task.
Okay.
So a task is something that you just break down. So I'll give you just an example. So for a home goal might be to clean the house.
Okay.
Right? A task is where you would clean the refrigerator.
Okay.
So you don't put the big goal on your calendar every day. You put the task on your calendar so you can get it done.
Okay.
So it's the difference between your goal and then the task management is what we call it. It's just breaking it down into little tasks that you can get done on a daily basis.
So you'll help me. So let's say I have a 3-bedroom house and 4 children. You'll help me to be able to, and my goal is to have my house clean by January 1st. You'll help me to figure that all out.
Well, yes, I will help you. I will help you with the goal. So that's your goal, is to clean your house.
Okay.
I don't just focus in this subject, but since we're going there.
Well, I just threw that one out.
It's
a common one, especially for most of our viewers.
Right. So basically, you would take your house and turn it into projects.
Okay.
So your house is the big goal, and then you may have like your basement. That's a project. That's not even a task.
Okay.
Right? Because there's different things in the basement that needs to be done.
Okay.
So then you just take a task, like what needs to be done. Maybe you need to sort some things. Maybe you need to throw out some things. Maybe you need to, donate some things. Those are our tasks.
Okay.
And so they need to be broken down into different times, different days, different weeks. If not, you're overwhelming yourself. And so that's the problem, is that a lot of people take this big goal and they look at it and they're like, it's never going to get done. But that's just because they haven't broken it down into eatable tasks that they can do.
Okay.
And those children, you're not in the house alone. So somebody needs to be grabbing some trash bags, going along with you to help you with your tasks. And if you have that support system, then that's what you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think is the most challenging helping people identify and work on short-term, intermediate, or long-term goals?
It's the long-term goals.
The long-term goals.
And it's really because people don't understand that there's a difference between a long-term goal and your short-term goal. So I'll take another one that's very popular, which is I want to buy a home within 5 years. So people look at the 5 years, it's a long time, but if you take it and chop it into half, it's really like doing fractions. You just I call it getting into your LCT, which is your lowest common task, right? And then fractions is your lowest common denominator. So basically you look at your goal as a whole circle, and then you chop it in half. So that 5-year goal turns into 2 years. Then you take the 2, and then you break it down to a year. So it's something that you can bring to work on your goal today that you didn't think that you would work on. So in that case, it may be that you need to get your credit together. So first step is pull your credit. That's something that you can work on today for that 5-year goal. And that's with anything, any of your goals. There's always something that you can do today to get towards that 5-year goal to make it seem like you're still working on it.
Do you have any productivity tools that you use or task management tools that you use?
Yes. Well, if you're in a business, the main thing is that people suggest are like an Asana or what's the other one? I work with Asana. So they're like project management tools basically, and they're easy to use. online, and you can use them for home, you can use them for business, you can use them for personal, and personal goals and home goals are totally different. That's the other problem, is that people don't understand that those are different. But if you don't take care of your person, and we talk about this all the time, you can't take care of home, business, family, anybody else. You have to take care of personal self. So just getting people to understand that out of 8,760 hours in a year, I'm just asking you to take 4 hours out of the year to dedicate to yourself. And that's 1 hour a quarter to just have some me time.
Oh, I done exceeded that 1,000 times over.
Some people do have a problem with it, but just 1 hour. No radio, no TV, no phone, just you, just by yourself, no children, no mate, to just, it's like an oil change, for your car. We maintenance our car, we maintenance our homes, but we don't maintenance ourselves.
That was part of our discussion earlier in class today, where I said, especially as women, we don't know how to say no, and we don't know how to say yes.
Absolutely.
So we don't know how to say no to carrying everyone else's stuff. And we talked about this about 2 weeks ago, and we don't know how to say yes to accepting the proper help and assistance.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, okay. That's good. Who that be?
Who's that?
I don't know.
We have guests. Who's that?
It's the next show person.
Kenya, do you have any tips for people that are considering starting a business in 2018? Like, what are some steps that they can actually take that you would recommend them to be successful, inshallah?
One, whatever the idea is, no matter if you're thinking about starting a business, if you're in business, the first thing is to get whatever idea it is that you have out of your head onto some kind of paper, whether it's electronic paper, whether it's paper, get it out of your head, put it on a paper, and start to write it down and to work on it and take baby steps. Once again, just breaking that big goal down. We all know as an entrepreneur, it seems like a big step, but it really is not. And don't skip steps, because you're going to have to come back. You're just going to have to come back. Don't skip the steps. If you think that, you want to do business, go ahead, get your business license, do all of those little things that you don't think that matter. They matter. Get them done now and start.
And it's free in Philadelphia to get your business license.
And don't worry if you don't know. Yeah, at the time.
I did
if you don't know.
18 years ago.
If you don't know all of the steps, it doesn't matter. Just get started. You can figure out the steps. There's so many resources out there for new business owners that, they can research. They can call Cover Their Business. There's just a lot of resources that if you don't know the steps to get started, that would be your first step. Find somebody that knows how to get business. Find somebody who's in business and ask them what was their steps and how to get started.
Yeah. I think one of my advices that I always give to new businesses is take business classes. Especially if you're a creator, you have a product that you create and such like that. A lot of times it's a hobby that I'm making some money from, and now I'm going to sell it, but you don't realize that you're not making money because you never priced yourself properly, because you don't understand all of those pieces, or you don't plan for the growth afterwards. And I think that goes into with the goal setting and such like that.
Absolutely. Personal development and professional development, they go hand in hand. We were just talking about customer service. Customer service is huge. A lot of people don't know how important customer service is. That can make or break your business. Philadelphia is a big city, but it's also very small, and it is.
Well, actually, I have to say the world is small. because no matter you think just your neighborhood or your city and such, I ran into a sister this weekend that I met she's from Philly, but I met her in Medina. And I ran into her Sunday. So, you just never know. I met a sister in Medina who ran into a sister from Philly on Hajj, and they both knew me. So, and one's from Philly, one's from Massachusetts, and the common denominator was Saudi. Right. So we just never know, and that's, customer service is...
Absolutely. And so you want people to, there's a word of mouth and with social media. It's a good thing, and it's also, it could be a bad thing. If I have a bad customer service and I go on, a social media platform and I express that I had a bad, service and you didn't rectify it, now all of my 1 million followers.
Hey, mashallah. Inshallah it'll come. You just never know. Listen, you wake up one day and you have a lot of followers. Mashallah. I know that's what happened for us. Absolutely. One day I woke up, I remember trying to get to 500. Then I was like, ooh, I'm at 1,000. Oh, wow, yeah. I'm at 1,500. Wow, I'm at 2,000. And that's without actually, doing that contest and such like that. So it definitely, and I believe the growth and development definitely comes from the customer service.
But if you look at it this way, I have 1 million subscribers. How many friends do you have? How many friends do you have? How
6 degrees of separation.
Yes, exactly. So you just never know who my good experience or my bad experience would do. I'm not really a social media type of person when it comes to social, with customer service. I like to deal with the person I'm dealing with, but everybody is not like me. So.
But you're a blogger.
I am.
So.
But
she's an undercover blogger.
I don't.
No, she's a blogger. she's a blogger.
I don't get on. I don't do social media where I'm talking about like customer service. If I had a bad experience, which I try to work it out with the business owner, and I
before social media.
No, I don't do social media. If I had a bad experience, I just had a bad experience, and hopefully your experience won't be the same.
Alhamdulillah.
I just leave it at that.
And I think sometimes we have to recognize that especially in small business, because that small business owner is carrying multiple hats. Okay. So it just might be that this is the one day that my hats was tilted and, I did displacement. You're not the reason that I gave you a bad customer service. Just like you were the last person that came in at this moment and I was already frustrated or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely. And that just comes with time and professional development. That's why I teach professional development, because you just never know. And you can easily express that to your customers, and we will probably understand it.
Which will be added to Covered in Business.
You can. There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm overwhelmed. Please excuse me, can I rectify the situation in some kind of way? I may say yes, I may say no, you never know. But at least offer.
You offer.
I think that's very very key, to offer even something as simple as an apology, even if you're not at fault.
I was going to say that, even if you're not at fault.
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest thing that people in general have a problem with. Well, it's not my fault. Yeah. Why should I say sorry? Well, you're representing the brand or whatever, even yourself.
Absolutely.
And
your reputation is king. I'm telling you.
It's everything.
Yeah, that reputation is really something. The day you say, Assalamu alaikum, my name is Kimya Williams, your life is no longer a clue.
Yeah. It's very hard to even separate the two, because who you are in your personal spills into your professional. Absolutely. I was talking to my students about that, especially on social media, when you have your name associated with your place of employment. Now you not understanding why that post got you fired. So I think that now, would you feel that goes into the personal development or the professional
It
development?
goes a little bit into both.
Okay.
And so we just had this conversation with a group of sales guys that I work with. And when I first met them, their boss's office is something similar to this. And so his desk is here and they're out beyond the glass.
Okay.
And so I'm talking to their boss and I look around and all of the computers are on Facebook. And he says, well, what do you
Wait,
think?
you're talking about you turn and their monitors are facing their boss and they're on Facebook.
And they're on social media, yes.
Wow. That's bold.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I asked myself, well, that's a problem. You know, that's one of your problems right here. And he said, well, they're not allowed to have their phones for security reasons because they deal with, you know, personal information. Totally understand that. Been there, done that.
But you're going to give them full access to social media.
Yeah.
On the computer.
And you're wondering why they're not productive. It's not much time.
I'm sorry, I still can't process that. That is like so hard to imagine that the boss was okay with them being on social media. Yeah, we know. We're going to leave that alone. But it's one thing, I think all of us, you know, we can be honest, all of us have been on social media when we weren't supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not a blatant disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to turn and see your staff's computers and they're working in sales.
Mm-hmm.
Have they met their quota for that day?
That's why I was sitting there.
So I think that's just like such an oxymoron. Like,
That's why I was.
That's an easy job. Hey, get them off of social media.
Yeah,
Maybe you might make some money.
It's and they have.
And corporates, they can actually block, because I know working for the city,
Yeah.
like certain links, like I would try to go online,
Mm-hmm.
certain websites,
Yeah, it doesn't
and it'd
matter.
be like no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But
actually
they didn't
weren't
stop us from going on Facebook.
Well, y'all were fortunate. One of the schools I worked at, first Facebook, you couldn't get on.
Yeah.
You couldn't get on any social media type things. Certain email servers, you couldn't get on either. But I also worked, when I worked in the field in healthcare, we didn't have computer systems. We had CRT, so it's only the network of the facility. And that's it. So there's nothing else that you can do. There's not even no access to us getting onto the internet.
But I think some companies can't afford that because that costs more.
Yeah, it does. Well, I worked in a
It's
hospital.
easier to just buy computers and get Verizon. You know, it's
Yeah, but it costs them in the long run because either you're going to pay for the system or you're going to pay for your employees not working.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to cost them either way. You know, so.
And you're right, an employee's going to try. Like, let me see if I can get, hey, I have access. All right, let me get on here. And, you know, it's interesting. One of, because I work close with IT, and they're like, oh, we can tell exactly when you went on, how long you went on. And I know of people that have lost their job solely because they pulled out the printouts. They pulled out the printouts from the computer. They pulled out the phone logs. Oh my God, one of the girls, she got fired because of the phone logs. Because the amount of hours that she was on, and of course, you know, repetitive numbers. She was making long distance, all kinds of crazy calls. But she did not realize that they looked at the amount of time she was on the phone and realized that that's not a business call. You know, we worked in the billing department, so you're always dealing with on the phone. But you got to remember, we're doing more inbound calls than outbound. And, you know, we don't call the same numbers all day long, every day.
Right. And it goes for corporate and it goes for my, you know, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, they're the same way. You know, where they say, Kimmy, I don't have time. Now, I'm not a social media person, but one thing I do know is that social media tells on you. So, you know, for you to say that you don't have time, but you're on social media for 2, 3, 4 hours, or as soon as you wake up. And so I see you.
Is she talking to me?
some people that first, as soon as they wake up, that's the first thing they grab.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm that person.
I'm not. I wait hours before.
Well, you know what? But you have to also think about, especially from a business perspective. First thing in the morning, after Fudget, before Fudget, is the best time for me to post because historically, customers, people, that's their downtime. You know, I get a few minutes before I actually get up, get my day started.
Right.
You should be lunchtime, but I think it's not whether you looked at it first thing in the morning, but did it stop you from getting out the door?
Absolutely.
But then you can set it to post.
Yes.
Your
and the other
promos.
thing is, there's nothing wrong with social media, and I know people are like all the time, Kimya, you know, social media, you're on social media. You're absolutely right, but there's scheduled times to have social media. When I'm talking to a business owner and we're working on their goals and we're trying to get their tasks together, we actually schedule in that time. So it's not like, oh my goodness, I need to be on social media.
You're just fishing.
Yeah, you know, like, no, schedule the time so you don't feel guilty.
Correct.
You don't feel guilty when you're on there scrolling, you know, replying to, you know, a cat doing some kind of crazy, you know, video or something. Go ahead and do it, you know, but just schedule it. And then let it go and get back to work, you know, or schedule it after you go to work, you know. So the other tip you were asking me, is there any time? If you work in corporate or if you work for yourself, please take your breaks and take your lunch. If you are a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur working for yourself, schedule in some break time for your little thumb scrolling and schedule a lunchtime, even if you don't eat. Take the time to step away from your task and really let your brain just to, you know, do something different. It helps with creativity. It helps with frustration. It will help you with customer service. It just helps. When you don't have that time and you're nipping at people, you're nipping at your customers, it's not good. It's just not a good thing. So, one more thing that I wanted to say with the tips is, you guys, you just gotta get mad. Huh? You gotta get mad.
Okay, I need a little bit more than that. What do you mean?
So in Proficiency Services, I always tell people, like, you gotta get mad. They always give me that same response. What is that? You just gotta make a decision and stick to it. Like, literally.
Make a decision. I got you.
Yeah.
That was cute. All right.
You always have to make a decision. You just have to stick to it. And I am the one, my personality is I'm very analytical, and I will think about something and think about something and think about it until I can't think about it anymore. You can't do that. You have to make a decision and go for it. Even if you don't know all of the steps, just like I told the person that wants to start a business or whatever, just take a step. And don't believe everyone who's telling you the quantum leap, telling you that it's going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight.
Not at all.
I wish, but
don't spend your money. You know, if someone's telling you that they, you know, can sell you a bridge, don't, like, seriously, don't do it. That's my advice. Research, find somebody who you can work with, you know, and if it's not me, find somebody else.
But you're good.
I mean,
I recommend y'all use
else.
Proficiency Services.
Listen, let's get real. Find somebody else,
Yeah.
but just get some help, some kind of way. Don't sit there and stall on something that you can't figure out. I mean, there's the internet, but sometimes you need somebody personal that's been through what you're trying to go through that can save you a step or two and some money.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's something that's key when you go to, and I think it's hard. A lot of times people look like, oh, you should. You're not in my shoes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's easy for you to give me that advice.
Right.
Because it's theoretical for
Right.
you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not actual factual and such like that. You're not understanding this process.
Right.
I think when you're seeking advice, seek sound advice from someone that has a proven track
Yes,
record.
absolutely.
I remember, don't kill me, peoples, but years ago I was in a program. I won't mention the